everybody, and welcome into JUCO Cover 3. I'm Zach McKinstry, alongside is Alan Edward, and we have a lot of junior college football to talk from last weekend. Notably, at the top, number 1 Hutchinson needed overtime to get by Iio Central in a thrilling game. Hutch comes from behind. They end up forcing that OT period, and then a 36-yard field goal wins it. Really impressive down the stretch from Hutchinson, and a big win, I'm sure, for their chemistry and just momentum moving forward, Alan.
Oh yeah, for sure. Iio Central, I'll start with them. That's a team again that's been trying to climb the ladder now. You know, they're trying to be something. Back when I was in JUCO, they were struggling to win, and after I graduated from JUCO, they ended up being a winning program. So big salute to them and that defense for even holding Hutch to an overtime, for sure. Even though they lost, but Hutchinson found a way to win. Of course, it's Hutch. Hutch always going to find a way to win, regardless of what situation it is.
Now, Samari Collier, we've talked about him a lot last year. We've talked about him a lot this year. Threw a pick six to go down 14 with 5 minutes left. He then led 2 unbelievable drives to end up tying the game and force that overtime period. So as a former QB yourself, how do you compose yourself like that after a pick six that's that crucial in the game to go down the field and score twice?
For sure. The first thing I would say, you got to believe in, picks are going to happen in the game, and nobody's perfect. No quarterback is perfect. You're going to throw picks, but it's what you do for the next drive you get, you know what I'm saying? How you going to text the next drive. So salute to, Samari throwing that pick six, but he bounced back from it, kept his head on the swivel. And main thing he did was use his legs most of the time. So that kind of helped the mood to change a little bit. But for sure, man, salute to him getting that team to win in overtime.
He showed a lot in that game, ended up winning NJCAA Player of the Week. I think he had 392 total yards, 3 touchdowns, and the only blemish was that interception. So yeah, big win for Hutch. Now moving to Texas, Trinity Valley, Tyler, our game of the week, 100th all-time matchup between those two teams, and it delivered. It was a defensive game dictated by defense. Ended 14-7 in overtime. And obviously the big play from that game was the conversion on 4th and 38. Have you ever seen anything like that?
No, I have not. I mean, we have seen it in the NFL, but not in the JUCO aspect, man. Shout out to Tyler JUCO College for even making that happen, to be honest. That's going to be for the books for sure. Going to overtime, and again, two great teams, man. The defense has to show out and try to come out and win, but, Tyler JUCO offense was pretty productive for the most part. Wasn't as air raid as I wanted them to be, but just looking from the numbers, I believe they were supposed to win that game too, because they was mainly went into the game running the ball too. Also with Trinity Valley, they also went in running the ball. I think they kind of shy away from throwing the ball a little bit, but they just got to get back to their roots and just air it out. But shout out to both defenses, and of course Tyler Juco for getting that win.
It was a phenomenal game, and Trinity Valley, number 6 in the nation before that game, obviously their first loss of the season. A lot of top-ranked teams going down earlier in the year, which really opens up that 4-team playoff and brings me to the final point in this one. Number 5 Kilgore, number 6 Navaro playing this weekend, and that's going to be huge for Southwest Junior College Football Conference implications.
Oh yeah, those two teams, Kilgore, of course, man, they was known for their defense. I couldn't name you probably 5 guys on top of my head right now. They breed defensive players, and of course that's going to be a defensive game. The best man wins. Shout out to both teams, and Kilgore, I expect them to beat that team. I really do. The defense for sure is going to show out for both sides of the ball. I predict a low scoring game also for that game.
It's going to be a lot of fun to watch. All those ranked teams at the top. You have Iowa Western already with a loss. Hutch with a couple close games early on in the season, but they're unblemished so far. Snow in the top of the rankings, barely hung on, scored a touchdown with less than a minute left to beat Lackawanna on Saturday. Yeah. So really it's up for grabs in those 4 playoff spots.
Oh, yeah. That's what's going on in the college world now. I mean, any team could be any team now. Have you seen Toledo beat Mississippi State this past weekend? So, I mean, JUCO football is starting to change around too. You're going to start seeing those teams like Snow, Iio Central starting to climb the ladders too. You know what I'm saying? So, JUCO for sure is going to be changing. It's going to be a lot of surprises this year if teams are not on their P's and Q's this year.
Yeah, I saw JUCO Football Frenzy tweet about it too. Mississippi State might need to look after some of those JUCO guys for sure.
For sure. For sure do. Don't shy away from them. We got to get
Yeah,
back to those roots.
the Mississippi Conference has been looking good this year too, so it's going to be a lot of fun. As always, thank you, Alan. Another edition of JUCO Cover 3 in the books. We'll be back next week with more analysis and deep dives about junior college football.
Oh, yes, sir. Thanks for having me, Zach. Appreciate it.